I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're exploring an important book. It is called Healthy Longevity Without Dementia. And it's written by an amazing author, a terrific physician by the name of Dr. Richard Ng. With the aging population growing, dementia has become a major concern for many. Today, we're going to learn how Dr. Ng's comprehensive strategies can help you live a longer, healthier life free from the fear of dementia. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are beneath this interview. Doctor, great to see you here today on Spotlight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great to have you on the show. This is such an important book. We are living longer lives, but we want our lives to be healthier as we age. And of course, mental acuity is a big part of that. Is everyone destined at one point in their life to suffer from dementia, or is it something that could be prevented?
Well, we are, as you know, getting older with the medical technology and living longer without the health span, which is a number of years lived in good health. Without that, is miserable. And so many people, they rather live healthy than living longer. And unfortunately, when you get older, aging is a risk factor for being demented, having dementia. But that doesn't mean everybody can get older, get dementia. Okay, many don't. Okay, and we just have to do our best to prevent it, slow it down, or in many cases, it can be reversed.
Wonderful. What are some of the things that people can do, or what would you say your number one recommendation for a person to do to reduce their risk of dementia? Is it diet? Is it exercise? Tell us what the cure is or what the preventive medicine is.
Okay, according to the Lancet Commission report coming out in 2020, they have 12 very important factors. If everybody modify that, it's called modifiable factors, then we can eliminate dementia at least 40%. That's a very important number. And dementia is a multi-dimensional phenomenon. Dementia is not a disease in itself because it's a syndrome and with many other diseases that can cause dementia. Okay, and the most important thing, though there are 12 of them, number one that flash on the top is a low-level education. But to me, that doesn't mean if you don't have an advanced degree or a PhD or something, you're going to get dementia. People can get educated by reading a book, learning a new skill, and watching television, TV, and with the news, and do other mentally worthwhile things. You don't really need to have a formal education with a degree. That's what they mean. Okay.
Exactly. So keeping your mind active, perhaps taking a course, perhaps reading a book, playing games or puzzles, all of these things are good because they stimulate our brains and keep them sharp, right?
Correct. And then the social inactivity, I think, which is a very, very bad thing for the modern hectic digital world. People sit at the desk and just not have enough regular exercises. When someone walks, it stimulates the brain to produce a brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is very healthy for the brain that it needs. And it also gives you the ability of neuroplasticity. That means your brain can adjust and learn something, just like someone who have a stroke. Many of them get better and become normal. It's just because of neuroplasticity of the brain.
It seems like
walking is very important.
Yep, absolutely. Exercise is important. Like you said, it stimulates the brain. It adds to that neuroplasticity, as you mentioned. There seems to be a connection between cardiovascular health and dementia, correct?
Correct. Yeah, Another factor that people, again, I've never smoked in my whole life. Many people smoke nowadays. And when you smoke, it's really bad for your cardiac health and brain health because it decreases the nicotine. The worst culprit is nicotine, which is a vasoconstrictor. That means it tightens up, nail down the vasculature so that you don't get enough brain to your heart, enough blood to your heart. You don't get enough blood to your brain. And it's all the way around is bad. I mean, each puff of smoke has a lot of toxic substances in them.
Yeah. It seems like older people are on a lot of medications today, from blood pressure lowering medications to statins. Do they have any impact on your brain health? Do they have any impact on the possibility of developing dementia?
In fact, there are many over-the-counter medications which are in common use. They can be bad for the mental health in the long run. If someone take the most common medication called Benadryl or diphenhydramine, which is once in a while for cold is okay, but someone take it chronically, it can affect your brain function.
Yeah.
Okay, because it does affect the mind.
Sure. I mean, you feel that right away when you take a diphenhydramine or Benadryl. You feel spacey, you feel out of it. You can imagine if you took it frequently that it would be a big problem. So for people to protect themselves, it's important that they stay educated, that they stay mentally engaged. It's important that they exercise. How important is diet?
Diet?
Yes. What people
diet. I mean, right now, I mean, in the traditional medicine, it used to be that they throw the nutrient or diet to the wayside. But 2,000-3,000 years ago, the Greek physician Hippocrates, I mean, he said, "Let thy food be thy medicine," which make a lot of sense because you are what you eat. So whatever you put into your body, I mean, it's going to make you well or healthy. I mean, that's very, very important. And but of course, I'm not advocating people, besides eating well and go and pop some supplement from vitamins. Of course, if you have a need for it, then the supplementation of vitamin instead of eating naturally is okay. But for the most part, diet is very, very important. There's more and more research nowadays. It's shown that the Mediterranean diet is supposed to be the best. I mean, in the U.S. News and World Report for the past 5 years has been rated the #1 diet for the consumers, mentally and physically.
Exactly. Any diet that leads to anti-inflammation, I'd imagine, is a good diet for your cardiovascular health and also for your brain health, which of course is a way to prevent dementia. So I think that's great advice as well. For the folks at home who are concerned about a loved one, what are some of the early signs of dementia?
Well, dementia can, many things can predate dementia in itself. For example, if your folks at home keep placing the important thing in the wrong place, such as someone put a key in a refrigerator, there's something wrong with their mind. And also the way they walk, you can stay behind your loved one and see the way they walk, the arm swing and things like that. If they're walking from the normal pace to something different and noticeable to you, then you know you need to do something about it. I mean, that's a telltale sign.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me ask you this, Doctor. What do you hope people get from your book? You know, you've put this wonderful book out there. It's a great in detail. It's great in advice. What do you hope folks at home learn from your book?
I like people not to be scared about the frightening word of dementia. I mean, dementia is not part of aging, and dementia should not be part of aging because many older people do live without dementia. And so we just learn to the factors that are affected, modified, and get a clean lifestyle and regular checkup with the doctor, such as your eye vision and your ear, your hearing. Those two are very important things that can increase your risk of for the development of dementia. For example, the eye can be considered part of the central nervous system. I mean, and if you don't see well, you don't have the interaction socially. Yeah. And if you don't hear well, then your interaction is much decreased. Yeah. So social interaction again is another important factor for dementia. And a lot of Eastern culture in the world, because of multiple generations living under the same roof, and for some reason, those cultures tend to have a very low level of dementia or prevalence.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful information today. Basically, it's a little dangerous living alone. You're much better off living with extended family if possible, because you're at risk of dementia because you have reduced social interactions, and social interactions are so important to keep your brain engaged. It's also important to make sure that your eyes are seeing well and that your ears are hearing well. Again, that keeps you engaged. Watch your diet, exercise. Wonderful advice across the board, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you.
For the folks at home, this is a very, very important book. It's written by Dr. Richard Ng. It is called Healthy Longevity Without Dementia. As you know, we have an aging population. Dementia has become a major concern for many. But in this book, Dr. Ng shows you comprehensive strategies that can help you live a longer, healthier life free from the fear of dementia. To the folks at home, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
As of the current statistics from the World Health Organization, I mean, there are about 55 million people suffering from dementia nowadays. And by the year 2050, they are expecting the prevalence to reach 155 million people. I think with that number, it's going to shake our healthcare system worldwide. And exactly. We need to take some brave countermeasure. I mean, to combat it. To combat it. And I'm hoping in my lifetime we can get dementia conquered and eliminated.
Wonderful, wonderful, great advice. And I'll leave the folks at home with this simple phrase: if you don't use it, you lose it. So use your brain. Stay engaged. See you next time. I'm Logan Crawford.
Thank you.